So today we are going to revise the whole syllabus. It is like last minute revision. Now, children, you have 2 days for your exam. And for that, it has not only to be hard work, but also smart work. Okay. So, if we talk about the complete syllabus, what we are going to discuss today is the blueprint, of course, then time management. After that, we will be discussing about this section of creative writing, because whatever compositions you have in creative writing, you have marks for format. So I feel that you should be very thorough with the formats of all compositions that are supposed to be done in this section. Then we have literature, in which prose, of course, we have from Flamingo, these 8 stories. Then we have 5 poems also that we need to study. And we have from Vistas also 6 stories. Okay, so we'll be discussing about all that. So if we talk about the blueprint of the question paper, if we say blueprint, what does it mean? What is going to be the pattern of your question paper? Of course, the first section, section A, is reading skills, which is for 20 marks. And in this section, you get 2 unseen passages. The first unseen passage is to assess comprehension, interpretation, and inference. Vocabulary and inference of meaning will also be assessed. The passage can be factual, it can be descriptive or literary, and it's going to come for 10 marks. Another passage is going to be a kind of case study. It's a case-based passage where you will be provided with some verbal or visual input. Now, visual input like some chart, graph, something like that. Verbal input, some statistical data is given. So this passage is also for 10 marks. Then you will be asked certain questions. The combined word limit for both the passages will be 600 to 750 words. So around 350 words each passage is going to be there. You will be asked 2 types of questions, either multiple choice question or objective type question, right? Out of these passages. So of course, as far as reading section is concerned, it depends on your ability, your linguistic ability, how you understand the language, how you grasp and comprehend the language, and accordingly, you will be able to answer these questions. Now, next is writing skills. Section B is writing skills. Now, in this writing skills, of course, you don't have any grammar questions that way, but you will find that in all compositions, you have marks for accuracy of spelling and grammar. So, one thing that I really want to advise you is that when you write these compositions, please use simple and accurate language. Don't use very fancy vocabulary. Sometimes you make incorrect use of word. Sometimes you make compound or complex sentences which you are not able to frame properly. आप छोटे छोटे सेंटेंस बनाओ, सिंपल सेंटेंस बनाओ, but just make sure that they should be error proof. Okay, so in short compositions you have notice, which is to be written up to 50 words. 1 out of 2 notices will have to be answered. Okay, इसमें 2 questions होंगे जिनमें से एक आपको आंसर करना ही करना पड़ेगा. So when you write notice, you have marks for format 1 mark, organization of ideas 1 mark, content 2 marks, and accuracy of spelling and grammar 1 mark. Then you have formal and informal, formal or informal. Any of them will come, right? Formal or informal, invitation and reply, which is again to be written in 50 words only. 1 out of the 2 given questions to be answered. Format means the marking scheme for this composition is also the same. 1 mark for format, 1 for organization of ideas, 2 for content, and 1 for accuracy of grammar, spelling and grammar. Then after that, next is letters. Now letters based on verbal or visual input to be answered in approx 120 to 150 words. Letters types include application for job, just with the biodata or resume. Letters to editor, giving suggestion or opinion on issues of public interest. Okay, so either you will get job application or you will get letter to the editor, and 1 out of 2 is compulsory to be done. Then next is article or report writing. Okay, again you'll get a choice out of these 2: descriptive and analytical in nature, based on verbal inputs to be answered in 120 to 150 words. So these are the kinds of questions. 4 questions of 5 marks each have to be answered in the writing section. Now let's come to literature, which is there for 40 marks. So in literature, you are going to get, first is a kind of reference to context. There will be an extract from poetry. Okay, two out of means out of which you are supposed to do one. That will be from Flamingo. So you have 5 poems, right? And out of them you will get 2 extracts to assess comprehension, interpretation, analysis, and appreciation for 6 marks. Then you have another extract which you are going to get from Vistas, which is going to be for 4 marks. Then another prose extract from Flamingo for 6 marks. Then you will have short answer type questions to be answered in 40 to 50 words, 2 marks each. So 5 questions you will have to do out of 6 for 2 marks each from Flamingo, and any 2 out of 3 short answer type from Vistas. That again is are going to be 2 markers. Then we get 2 long questions. One long question means 1 out of 2 has to be done from prose or poetry from Flamingo, and long answers are supposed to be done in 120 to 150 words. Questions can be based on incident, theme, passage, extract, or event as reference points to assess exploration beyond and across the text. The question will elicit analytical and evaluative response from student. Next is any 1 out of 2 long answer type question based on the chapters from the book Vistas. That is again to be answered in 120 to 150 words. And it is these questions are given to assess global comprehension and extrapolation beyond the text. Okay, questions to provide evaluative and analytical responses using incidents, events, themes as reference points. We have already done a lot of questions like that, right? So now I would like to talk about time management. See, if we say collab means on the whole, section A reading time should be done in 50 minutes. Okay, so one passage should be given 25 minutes, another passage again 25 minutes. So 50 minutes should be spent on reading section. Yes, Dhimant, you have a query?
Ma'am, can we like instead of reading the passage, like I first read the questions,
Okay.
then I like interpret the questions, and then I read the passage to get the answers in a very efficient way and in a fast way. Can like we do that?
See, that way, I would tell you, everybody has his own style of doing things. Huh? We develop our own style. If you feel that this goes well with you, good enough. But what I usually suggest the students that you see, we can utilize reading time also. Like 5 minutes you give to read other questions of literature and writing, another 10 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, another 7 to 8 minutes, whatever you get remaining, you start reading the passage. Otherwise, you see the general strategy, the general way of solving an unseen passage is first you read the passage, then you read the question. First reading is going to be a quick reading. Quick reading, which should tell you the theme of the passage. You should be able to understand what is the passage about, right? Then you read the questions, and then next reading, again, you will have to read the passage again. That is going to be slow reading. Okay, questions you already have read, you have them in your mind. Now, while doing that slow reading, please mark or locate, point out the locations of the answers. यू हैव ऑलरेडी रेड द क्वेश्चन. आप अब क्या करिए, जब आप दोबारा से उसको पैसेज को पढ़ेंगे बेटा, तो कहीं ना कहीं आपको क्लिक होगा कि यहाँ मेरे एक क्वेश्चन का आंसर कहीं यहाँ लाइक करता है, तो आप उस पे ना कुछ मार्क कर दीजिए उसको, जस्ट मार्क इट विद पेंसिल और समथिंग, and then carry on reading. When you read second time and now start writing the answers, read the question, you already know the location of the answer in your passage because you have already read the passage twice, right? So you will be able to find out ki from where am I supposed to pick the answer, and then start writing your answers. When you do comprehension passage, try writing answers in your own words. See, most of it is going to be MCQ only, so you are just going to give direct answer. Answers have to be written directly, At the same time, word limit is something better throughout the paper which you have to be very careful about. You get your marks deducted if you write extra words. Okay, too much of extra words. So that should not be there. You have been given both ends, na? 30 to 40 words, 120 to 150 words. So please make sure that your answer lies within the word limit, right? Now, next is writing section. Writing section should be done in 45 minutes. You have to do 4 questions. So it should be done in 45 minutes. Very short answer means short compositions like notice and invitation. You should be able to do them in 5 minutes only. But this job application or letter to editor, it may take 15 minutes. Article or report may take another extra 5 minutes, so mean 20 minutes. See, this may vary. This may vary child to child. Okay. But what we have to take care is that 45 minutes a writing section should be finished. Okay. Then next is literature. We should try finish it in 75 minutes beta. जो MCQs हैं उनमें 5-5 मिनट से ज्यादा आपको नहीं लगना चाहिए. और शॉर्ट आंसर टाइप क्वेश्चंस जो हैं 10 मार्क्स के आएंगे, 5 क्वेश्चंस विच यू हैव टू डू. They may take 30 minutes because you have to write descriptively, but at the same time within the word limit. And to do one 5-mark question, you should not spend more than 10 minutes. That is sufficient. Okay. Now, if you follow this, you will find that you have 10 minutes to revise your paper. Revision of spelling, grammar, accuracy, etc. is very important. Please don't forget to revise your paper. It is very important that you should revise your paper. See, if you are able to find your own mistakes, you will not get your marks deducted. If the same mistakes are going to be found by the examiners, of course, your marks will be deducted. Okay, so please, you need to revise the paper. Now, immediately, let's talk about the compositions. We will be revising the format. And so the points that have to be followed, of course, adhere to the specified word limit of 50 words. Name and place of school, organization, or office issuing the notice should be mentioned at the top. Then, after that, you have to write the word notice, write the date of issuing the notice, then give an appropriate heading, clearly mention the target group for whom the notice is to be displayed, purpose of the notice, mention all the relevant details like date, venue, time, mention whom to contact for extra information, name and designation of the person issuing the notice, and put the notice in a box. So first write the notice and then draw lines with pencil. Okay. So as you can see here, the format is given, name of the institution, organized, किस तरह से आप कहां पर क्या place करेंगे. This has been given over here. Then word notice in capital letters. After that, date should be there, and then suitable heading. And then the content actually comprises target group for whom the notice is, date, time, venue, and all important details, and any extra information needed. So body of the notice is going to be 50 words only. Okay. Answer the questions: for whom, what, when, where, how, by whom, additional information. So when you answer these questions, then only if your notice answers these questions, then you can say that you have done the complete notice. Okay. See an example we can take here. You are Rachit or Rachna, the in charge of cultural club of your New Public School, Delhi. Draft a notice for your school notice board inviting the students to participate in the inter-house dance competition. So you can see who is the issuing authority. कौन issue कर रहा है ये notice? New Public School, Delhi. So सबसे ऊपर उसका name and address आएगा. After that, the word notice. Then on the left, you will give the date. Then subject. So the subject is inter-house dance competition. And then you will write the body of the notice. All the students of our school. See, initially only you come to know about the target audience. Initially only you come to know that the notice is drafted for whom. So it is for the students of the school. All the students of our school are hereby informed that an inter-house dance competition is going to be organized in our school on such and such date at 10 a.m. in the school auditorium. Date, time, venue. This is the format: date, time, venue. It is always like that. You cannot mention time before the date or venue before time. Okay. The winners will be selected for zonal level. Interested students may send their names to the undersigned for participation latest by, then deadline is given. And who is issuing authority, uska aapko naam already diya hua hai. The name that has been given in the question, that name only should be used with the designation: in charge, cultural club. I hope it is clear. Yes. Okay. So please revise all these notices, read them, and then you are given certain questions also. Now let's talk about invitation. An invitation is sent to near and dear ones on the occasions such as marriage, births, or celebrations, etc. It is formally extended to general masses for public events or functions. So if we talk about the types, invitations are of two types: formal, informal. In formal, we have two types again: card form, letter form. But if we talk about replies, again we have formal, informal, again in the formal, card form, letter form. So, you will be given in the question what kind of invitation or what kind of reply has to be drafted. So, please be very, very careful about it. A reply can either be accepted or declined. When declining an invitation, always give a reason for declining. Okay. Now let's see. Formal invitation, there are two types: printed invitation card inviting guests to be present on a particular occasion. Such invitations do not include the name of the addressee. Okay, name of the addressee. Addressee is the person whom you are sending the invitation. उसका नाम उसमें नहीं लिखा जाता है. Handwritten letter addressed to a VIP invited to preside over a social, cultural, and educational function. In such invitations, the name of addressee, means the person you are writing the invitation for, appears prominently. उसका नाम लिखा जाता है ना? Points to be remembered: to be written in third person, no abbreviation to be used, simple present tense is used. Each entry to be mentioned in separate line. For example, the name of the person who is inviting, then formal expression like request the pleasure of your company, time and date of event, purpose and occasion of invitation. For RSVP, address and telephone number is given at which the invitee may contact for any queries. Then name of the chief guest, program may be given. Okay. So format of formal invitation, it includes, you can see it here, format of formal invitation. यहाँ देखिए, सबसे पहले name of the host. Okay, as you can see here, Mrs. and Mr. Madan Sharma, for example. Then a formal phrase of invitation or standard expression like solicit your gracious presence on the auspicious occasion of the marriage of their granddaughter. Then name of the daughter with her parents' name, daughter of Mrs. Savita and Mr. Rahul Sharma, with name of the groom, with his parents' name, on such and such date, at such and such time, at such and such place. Okay, date, time, venue should be given. On the left, RSVP, and on the right, you can write this: with best compliments from Vinod Sharma and all relatives. Okay, this is how a formal letter is given. Now, you see here another kind of: Mrs. and Mr. Rajkumar Gupta seek your auspicious presence at the grand celebration party of their son Rohit's successfully passing the IIT JEE entrance examination at this time, on this date, at such venue, RSVP on the left, right. So this is how you are supposed to write formal letters. Yes, Dhiman?
Ma'am, is RSVP always the host?
Yes, yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, RSVP, in RSVP, you are supposed to mention the name and contact number of the person whom you can contact, whom the guest can contact if they want to ask something. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. Okay,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So sometimes a formal invitation can be about some school function or event also, as you can see here. Royal Oak International School, Gurugram, Haryana, takes immense pleasure in inviting renowned cricket player Mr. MS Dhoni to grace the occasion of annual sports day on such and such date from this time to this time at school campus. Looking forward to a positive response from your end. So this invitation has been drafted especially for Mr. Dhoni. to invite him as the chief guest, on this occasion. So this is drafted especially for him. Okay. I hope you are able to understand. Now let's talk about letter format. So letter format is actually meant for an individual. Card format is meant for masses. It's a general invitation which we get printed on card and then we distribute those cards. But letter format, letter invitation is meant for an individual. It includes the name of the invitee. These are to be written on run-on lines. You are not supposed to break the lines the way you were the way you were doing in the formal invitation. Other details are similar to the mass scale invitation. बाकी सब कुछ वही होता है. जैसे सबसे पहले sender's address is to be written, as you can see here, Kamala Nehru School, Cantonment, Bangalore. Then date, then name and designation and address of the person who is receiving this invitation, है ना? Like Mr. KJ Singh, District Commissioner Police or Commissioner of Police, Police Lines, Bangalore. Subject is invitation, annual day function. Sir, it gives us immense pleasure to inform you that we are celebrating our school's annual day function on such and such date at this time in the activity hall of the school. We shall consider it a great honor if you could grace the occasion and preside over the function as the chief guest and give away the prizes. And then yours faithfully, principal. Means like a letter only, this has to be written. It has to be very short and precise. You are not supposed to talk about haywire things here. You are not supposed to talk about how are you, this, that. बिल्कुल भी आप letter इस तरह से begin नहीं करेंगे. It's a formal letter and it should be very direct. It should open directly. Okay. So here we have certain examples which you can go through. Now let's talk about informal invitations. If we say informal invitation, it is like personal letter. When you are writing it to. So the main characteristics are these letters are written in first person or second person presentations, of course. Personal feelings and emotions find an expression in these letters. The writer's address is given in the usual place. The salutation is usually dear and then the name of the person whom you are writing. The date of writing is given, but the year is generally omitted. The style and tone are relaxed and informal. Different tenses are used. And then the complimentary clause is yours sincerely. Yours sincerely is the subscription that you use for such letters. First of all, sender's address, then date, then salutation. Dear Varun, you will be glad to learn that I have secured 50th rank in the CBSE PMT competition. I have got admission in a prestigious institution, Shivaji Medical College, Nagpur. I want to share a few happy moments of my life with you at a dinner in the Hotel Kanishka at 9 p.m. on 25th December. Whatever the date is, full date. Please join the celebrations and merrymaking. Yours sincerely, Rohit. Only first name is given in the subscription here. Okay. So you have many other examples. Now, if we talk about the replies, so formal reply, it acknowledge the invitation, express thanks in third person. When you are accepting the invitation, confirm date and timing. If declining, give reason, convey your best wishes, not to be signed at the end. Give date and address at top left hand. Do not exceed the word limit. Like as you can see here, formal acceptance, sender's address, date, then salutation. It is always the same. Dear Mr. Chawla, Mrs. and Mr. Harsh Malhotra thank Mrs. and Mr. Chawla for inviting them on the occasion of 15th birthday of their son, Master Santosh Chawla, on Monday, 30th January at Om Sweets, Sector 23, Gurugram at 8 p.m., which they are delighted to accept. It's their great pleasure to attend the ceremony. They wish the young boy many happy returns of the day. Best wishes, Harsh Malhotra. Okay, this is how formal reply is drafted. When you are not going to use I accept, you have invited, you will be writing names for it. Third person. Okay. But now formal refusal, how is it going to be? Mrs. and Mr. Ajay Gupta thanks Mrs. and Mr. Satish Sharma for their kind invitation on the housewarming party at the address is given on such and such date at such and such time, but regret their inability to accept the same due to urgent and unavoidable assignment abroad. Best wishes, Ajay Gupta. See, one or two reasons you can, because you will never be given the reason in the question. Why are you? You will only be asked expressing inability to attend the program. तो आप एक आध रीजन लर्न भी कर सकते हो. हाँ, यू कैन लर्न देम बाय हार्ट एंड राइट that reason only in whatever question you get. Now, if we talk about informal acceptance is like personal letter. Dear Suchi, I have received your invitation for your birthday party on this day, at this time, at this place. I am extremely happy to know that all our old friends are likely to be there. I would like to confirm my participation. Looking forward to the momentous occasion. With love, Manoj or Mini, whatever, first name only. ठीक है, ये पर्सनल लेटर की तरह हो गया, where you can use I, you, right? Okay, now letter writing formal. If we talk about letter to the editor, please understand letter to the editor is written to give your opinion and it should be able to grab the reader's attention. Explain the matter in the first paragraph only. First paragraph, introductory paragraph of your letter should be able to define the purpose of writing the letter, why you are writing the letter. Explain why the issue is important, give evidence of your praise or criticism, state the writer's opinion about what should be done. So these are all important elements of a letter to editor. Purpose of the letter: to express one's opinion on a wide range of issues or to express and share one's observations and views in a public forum. Language of the letter is supposed to be formal. Repetition of ideas must be avoided. Subparagraph should be used in an organized way. Personal outlook must be included and biased language should be avoided. Format is, first of all, you have sender's address, then date, then receiver's address, then salutation. You must write sir or madam as the greeting. Subject as per the question, and then the body or the content. First paragraph is always the introduction. Second paragraph should define causes, effects, or problems. Then suggestions or solutions. Then another paragraph is concluding paragraph. Complimentary close should be given, and then subscription name. This is the format which you are supposed to follow. Huh? The editor, the Times of India. First receivers, sender's address, then date, then receiver. The editor, the Times of India, Karol Bagh, sir or madam, subject as per the question. Through the column of your esteemed daily news or prestigious newspaper, I would like to draw the attention of the concerned authorities or general public towards this. Just ratta fow this thing. Rat लीजिए इसको, हाँ, cram this so that you can use it in all your letters to editor. Even the conclusion, the concluding I hope that you will publish my letter in your esteemed daily and the concerned authorities will take quick or speedy action. ये line भी आप learn कर लीजिए. You can use the same line. All right. Otherwise, some other beginning lines have also been given. Ending lines have been given. So you may use these. Next is job application. Job application, again, look at the format. See, it has to be written as a letter. Job application always contains two things. One is the letter, covering letter. Then next is, after finishing the covering letter, you have to sign off as enclosures, जिसमें आप लिखते हैं biodata, copies of certificate and passport size photograph. So your letter should be brief and to the point. Introduction, body and conclusion, of course, you will be mentioning that. और लेटर खत्म करने के बाद then you will have your CV, the biodata, okay, where you will be giving all your information. As you can see here, question दिया हुआ है, you recently came across the following job advertisement and you have to write a letter based on this. So see, sender's address, date, receiver's address, then subject. So, with reference to your advertisement in the Times of India dated this, I have come to know that there is a vacant post for sales representative in your company. I want to apply for the same. I have done graduation from DU. I have 5 years working experience. I have good knowledge of public dealing. If you give me a chance, I will try to satisfy you with my performance. Thank you. Yours truly, your name. Then enclosed biodata. Now you will draft the biodata where you will give all these details: name, father's name, gender, date of birth, address, phone number. These are personal details. Then educational qualification, experience, hobby, nationality, religion, marital status, salary expected, salary withdrawn, and then two references. These are all important points of a bio data. Okay, that you need to mention. Yes, Dhiman?
Ma'am, what is salary withdrawn?
Last salary withdrawn means where you are working, what are you drawing from there? Okay?
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, Aniket.
Ma'am, in this resume, the details are given in the question only, or we have to write them by themselves?
No, no, you will invent the details on your own. Okay, you will invent the details on your own, but please understand the qualification that you are mentioning should be according to the job that you have been offered. Okay, otherwise all
Okay,
these details you will invent on your own. आप कुछ भी लिख दीजिए उसमें.
okay.
Hope you hope you have understood.
Ma'am, in the
Yes, ma'am.
qualification, do we also have to write BCom, BA, or something like that?
Exactly, yes, why not? Or you can write graduation, simple graduation. The way it is written here,
Okay,
can
ma'am,
you see?
that's what I was checking.
Can you see? Yeah, 10th from
Oh,
CBSE in 2005, 12th from CBSE in 2007, graduation from DU in 2010. That's it.
yeah, okay, ma'am.
You can write like this also. You won't have any marks for all this. आप क्या डिटेल्स देते हैं उसके कोई मार्क्स नहीं है बेटा. बस एग्जामिनर को ये देखना है that you have written a biodata. Okay? The
Okay,
child
ma'am.
know how a job application is to be written and what are the documents that are supposed to be given with that. That's it. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. So the next is report. So report is actually a factual description of an issue or a problem. Any event that has already taken place, sometimes you are supposed to report that too. Um if we there are two types of reports. One are magazine reports and then newspaper reports. So if we talk about the format, both have heading, then byline. By means name of the person writing the report. Opening paragraph is the introduction, which should include 5 W's like what, why, when, where, and who. ओके, ये 5 क्वेश्चंस के आंसर्स आपके इंट्रोडक्शन वाले पैराग्राफ में आ जाने चाहिए. Then account of the event in detail, the proper sequence of events that occurred along with the description. This is the main paragraph. It can further be divided into 2 3 short paragraphs. And last is conclusion. This will include the description of how the event ended. It may include quote excerpts from the chief guest speech or how did the event wind up. Okay, so if we talk about the format of a newspaper, headline and byline, they are the same, the way we were having in the magazine report also. But the one difference that we have is place and date of reporting. On the left hand side, we always mention place and date of reporting. It is generally not mentioned in a magazine report separately, but here we have to. Then opening paragraph. Opening paragraph includes expansion of the headline. It needs to be short as it is a general overview of the report. Then account of the event in detail. First, complete account of what happened, just where you mention the chronological sequence. And then second, the witness remark. These two things should definitely be there in a newspaper report. And then, of course, concluding paragraph. This will include the action that has been taken so far or that will be taken. It is the last paragraph of the report. Now, talking about marks, it comes as a 5 marks question, the breakup for which is format 1 mark, organization of ideas 2 marks, content 1 mark, and spelling and grammar 1 mark. Now, there are some tips that you should follow, some tips to attempt a question on report writing. First is make sure you use language which is suitable for the audience you are addressing to. Usage of complex vocabulary for addressing children is not advisable. All right, so write simple language. Then make sure you write in paragraphs. If you don't write this composition in paragraphs, you get your marks deducted. Practice previous year question papers. Read as many samples as you can. It will give you an idea as how to they are actually written. Read the question at least twice and highlight the important information. It is very important to understand the question and read between the lines. Albert Einstein once said, if you can't explain it simply, you didn't understand it well enough. All right? Plan before you pen. Just make a list of all important points on the rough sheet, last sheet of your answer booklet actually, so that you do not forget relevant points while writing. This also helps you in maintaining a sequence, which is very important. Presentation is very important. Make sure you double check the grammatical accuracy and spellings, they carry marks. Leave adequate number of lines between paragraphs to make it look clean. Underlining the main points is very important, but it is advised to do it after finishing your exam. Use a dark blue pen and scale for underlining. Make small sentences. It restricts the scope of grammatical inaccuracies. Now, look at the report that has been given here. Your school had recently arranged a musical night in the school auditorium. Write a report in 100 to 150 words. So, it's a school magazine report, right? So, as you can see, first of all is headline, a musical night. Then byline by Mahesh Gupta, cultural secretary in bracket. That has because that is mentioned in the question. Then you will write place and date is given to though it is not a newspaper report, but they have given it that way also. It's okay. To promote awareness towards cultural activities and to enhance the talents of students, particularly in the field of music and dance, the management and staff of Vasant Public School organized a musical night in the school auditorium on such and such date. Mr. Prabhu Shekhar, the DM of Delhi, inaugurated the program as the chief guest. Many other reputed people from now you see at such and such date. That should be your introductory paragraph. After that, you should change the paragraph when you are giving the details of it. Mr. Prabhu Shekhar, the DM of Delhi, inaugurated the program as the chief guest. Many other reputed people from various schools and institutions were also present. The program began with the invocation of Goddess Saraswati. After that, many colorful programs were presented by the students. Natraj Stuti and dance drama Save the Planet stole the show. Participants were very enthusiastic about the event. Many of them performed quite well and received great applause from the audience. Parents of almost all the students were also present. One girl, Aditi of class 12, won the heart of everyone present there by her melodious song. One group of boys and girls performed the folk dance that represented the cultural heritage of our state. Now, next, concluding, it should be now the last paragraph. In his address, the chief guest appreciated the efforts made by children and wished them all success. The event ended with the word of thanks. It was a fascinating show. Okay, so this should be here, it is not given, but this should be at least 3 paragraphs. Please understand. I hope it is clear. There are some other examples also which you should go through. See, as many samples as you read, it will definitely benefit you in developing the content whenever you write it yourself. Okay, next is article writing. You will be asked to write an article, whether descriptive or argumentative, in 150 to 200 words. It can be in the form of broad hints, short outline, or only a suggestive beginning. It can also be in the form of a figure of diagram. The only purpose of giving input for a piece of composition is to discourage the habit of cramming among students. They should be able to form their own ideas on a given subject or situation and express them in a language of their own. So, if it is descriptive writing, you may have to describe some object, place, or person. If argumentative, it aims at convincing the reader with the arguments in support of an idea. So, an article consists of title, introduction, main body, and conclusion. Article is usually the form of a couple of paragraphs. It can be in a single paragraph also. It relates to one topic, theme, or subject. In order to write a good piece of composition, you should keep these points in mind. First is think deeply on the given topic and study carefully the given visual or verbal input. Some other ideas may come to your mind. Arrange all these ideas or points in the logical order you want to develop for your article. Now start writing and develop your points one by one into a single whole. Your writing should be lucid, means clearly expressed, easy to understand. Every sentence should naturally rise from the previous one and flow into the next. The first sentence should be the topic itself. It should at once introduce the main idea of your paragraph. Similarly, the last sentence should state the conclusion on the topic. Divide your composition into suitable paragraphs. The composition should be brief, meaningful, and to the point. Don't exceed the prescribed word limit. Complete sentences should be used and vocabulary should be rich. Colloquial expressions. Colloquial means used in conversation, but not in formal speech or writing. And slangs, like very informal words. Uh, I have often seen children writing words like guys, huh? You are not, or any sort of WhatsApp language, you are not supposed to use all that. Okay. So here is an example of an article. As you can see, the format, first of all, is the heading, the title, and then byline, means by Veena, the person who has written. Name will definitely be given in the question, and you are supposed to write the same name. And then you have to talk about the topic. Okay? So this is how an article is supposed to be written. Please be very thorough with the formats. I am repeating myself. Please be very thorough with the formats. You have marks for formats in all the compositions. Yes, Aniket.
Ma'am, article in should be written in three paragraphs.
Yes, yes, yes. It has to be written in 3 paragraphs, right?
Oh,
I hope you will be able to revise in this way better. Now you have 2 days, right? So as much as you are able to do in these 2 days, it will be beneficial for you. So all the best.
uh,
Yes. So
okay,
all the
ma'am.
best for your revision. And if you have any queries, you can ask me anytime. All right.
Ma'am, I need to ask you something.
Yes.
Ma'am, do we have to give a rating to the stories also, or we can directly do questions?
Pardon?
Ma'am, we have to give reading to the stories and poems, or
See,
we can
if you
directly do
have
questions.
see, do right now, please do questions because you already have read it recently. If it's been a long time that you haven't read the stories, then go through them again. But you have already done it recently. So now you can directly do the questions. This is what I feel. There may be some students who must have not read them for a long time, long, long time. Like after November, you haven't read them at all. Then they should read. But those who have read it, or the story that you are not much confident in, read that story only. Because now in 2 days, it's not possible to read all the stories thoroughly and all that. If you can do nothing better than that. See, this PDF is going to be of very good use to you.